Metropolitan Action Commission Board of Commissioners meeting to order. This is Thursday, May 28th, 2020. I need a motion. I'm sorry, I need to call and verify who is present once more. Casey Anderson. Leslie Buggs.
Present.
Alicia Cobb.
Present.
Benita Davis. Karen Doty.
Yes.
Kathy Floyd Buggs. Kathy Floyd Buggs.
Present.
Osmond Babur.
Present.
Jim Harbison. Jim Harbison.
Here, sorry, couldn't get the click button.
Sharon Hurt. Flo Kidd.
Present.
Joseph Mitchell.
Here.
Jeffrey Moses. Berthina McKinney. Renee Pratt. Sulfat Suara.
Dr. Steele, I'm seeing Benita Davis on here. Would you call for her again?
Yes, Benita Davis.
I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. We now need a motion to approve conducting this meeting by electronic means.
I so moved. It's Benita.
Thank you, Benita. Do we have a second?
This is Kathy. Second.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We will now proceed with the agenda. Pursuant to the provisions of Metropolitan Code of Laws, Metropolitan Action Commission, we are hereby following Section 268.30 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws. And I've called this meeting to order. And now we'd like to have a motion to approve the minutes of the April 23rd, 2020 meeting. Is there a motion?
This is Kathy. I make a motion that we approve the meeting notes.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I second it.
That. Who seconded it, please?
Joseph Mitchell.
Thank you, Joseph. All right. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Speak up if you have any. All right. All in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion is carried. We're moving now to Roman numeral 2, Executive Director's Report. Dr. Combs. Dr. Crum.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for being willing to join us. We appreciate it very much. I am going to ask that at this time, if you're not speaking, if you would mute your mics, it will minimize the background noise that we have. So I'll just make my report and say that I will begin my report with some very exciting news to share with the commissioners that as of May 12th, I have now joined the club of being a grandparent. And so we have our first grandchild, a boy, whose name is Micah Liam. And so I'm going to try not to be one of those really annoying grandparents, but I wanted to share that with you all. And just let you know that our family is very excited that in the midst of a pandemic, we've had a new addition to our family. On to the business of the Metropolitan Action Commission. As you all know, there's quite a lot going on right now So I want to bring you up to speed with where we are on a number of things. If you will consult the document that I sent to you, which is my report, some of the information that I will discuss is contained in my report to you, but I will also go into a little bit more detail. Let me begin by saying that, as you all know, there is plans to move some of the programs of the Nashville Career Advancement Center into Metropolitan Action Commission. That would result in the dissolving of Nashville Career Advancement Center, which is known by most of us as NCAC. That has passed on first read with Metro Council. It goes before council on second read on next week. I will be present to answer any potential questions that they might have. The NCAC has approximately 14 team members. We anticipate, should everything go forward, moving approximately 7 of those team members to Metropolitan Action Commission. The end result, again, also of that move will be about a $2 million reduction in the budget from NCAC, not a $2 million proposed reduction to Metro Action Commission, but the entire local funds will not be transferred into Metro Action Commission, as at least as the plan is laid out. As a consequence of that, we will not be administering the programs in their entirety. There'll be more information forthcoming depending on what happens during the second read of council during the month of June that we hope to share with the board. That is going to mean that in the month of June, we will have quite a number of job descriptions that will need to be passed by the board. As a consequence of that, I will be asking for the Personnel Committee and the Budget Committee of the board to meet with me as soon as is possible to both public notice and schedule so that we can discuss what that will look like in terms of the organization. As a result of much of what is happening and our plans as it relates to our programs, we are doing a complete organizational restructure, and that includes or assumes that the youth division of NCAC will be coming into Metro Action Commission, as well as the workforce or a portion of the workforce division. As a result of that, in our most recent strategic planning meeting, we will do quite a bit of sort of relaying out our departments in a way that we believe will really allow us to contribute to the work that we've already been doing around 2Gen and whole family. Having the youth portion included will also allow us to extend greater services to families already in our Head Start program that have youth in their homes and families up to 200% of poverty. There's still over the next year will be quite a few other things to work out in terms of how youth programming will look. But we anticipate that the month of July will be quite busy in terms of just trying to make sure from an organization perspective that we are structured in a way that allows us to maximize our service delivery. With that being said, you will also note that my report includes information that we will be moving from our main location. And at this point, we are told that we could be moved in the next 6 months. We do not have at this point an exact location that we will be moving to. It has been explained to us that it is expected to be a temporary location, and this is for our main administrative building, and it will be a temporary location until such time as an adequate space can be found both for the Metropolitan Action Commission and for Metro Social Services. I will share with the board that we have looked at a location and toured it and have sent that information to the Metro team that is responsible for negotiating leases for Metro properties. And we will find out, I hope in the very near future, whether or not we will be moving to that location or to a different location. So our team, and let me just thank Lisa and Tanya Simmons, Lisa McCready and Tanya Simmons, who as soon as we were notified that we would be relocated from this building, began to scout out possible locations that would accommodate our team and equally as important, accommodate our customers. So I wanted to make sure that I brought that to the board's attention. The other thing that I'd like to make sure that I mention to the board is, as you know, with COVID-19, that there's quite a bit of funding that is being made available to our organization through our Community Services Block Grant funding, which you will see the approval of an additional $1.8 million that we are receiving as a result of COVID-19, that we will have 2 years to spend down. You will see the request for the board to approve the receipt of those funds. We also are expecting additional energy assistance funds. The exact dollar total we have not been provided at this time. We will also receive additional funds through the Head Start program. Again, the exact total at this point, we have not been made aware of. We expect that we will know the totals for these additional dollars in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and expect that we will be bringing those totals before the board during our actual June board meeting. I should also mention that we are anticipating, as a result of some of this funding, that some of our existing positions, for example, our data specialist position, with the anticipation of both additional funding and the possible expansion of our staff size due to team members from NCAC coming over. But today we will also be requesting that the board approve the addition of additional parent involvement specialist, as well as the addition of a data specialist. We have 2. We know that we will be purchasing additional licenses because our current system, data system, is not set with the licenses to accommodate the youth numbers that we anticipate coming into the organization. So as I've said to the board when I began, I think there's quite a bit going on. I know that's a lot for you all to sort of keep up with and keep in your heads, but I want to make sure you know that over the next 30 days, we will be requesting specific meetings with committees of the board to go into some of these areas in more detail. Obviously, this is great news that we will be getting additional funds that allow us to assist our customers, but it certainly is requiring quite a bit of additional work from our team. I would certainly be remiss if I did not share with the board just the absolute thanks for the team, the work of our team in feeding Nashville's children and even feeding their parents over the last several months. Our team has been out Tuesday through Thursday providing meals, and then we provide meals on Thursday for 5 days for the families that we have been serving. You will see as a part of the board report, additionally, that our summer food program is scheduled to begin on June 1st. We will begin with fewer sites than we normally have, as you can imagine. Normally, we have up to 108 locations that we provide meals for in the summer. However, given the COVID-19 concerns, our team, a number of the sites that we would normally provide meals for are not offering day camps. We're very grateful, however, that several of the parks locations will still be opening so that we can provide meals to children. Currently, we have about 47 locations that we will be providing meals to, and we will be giving additional information to board members as our program year or our summer program ramps up. I know that I have given a fairly extensive report, but it gives you just a glimpse of some of the work that our team has been doing and the things that we're trying to pull together. I have not mentioned that we will still be doing our summer some of our summer programming. As you know, Opportunity Now is being coordinated through Metropolitan Action Commission along with some of the team members from NCAC. We anticipate that we will still be able to serve approximately 400 or so youth through over the summer. That's down from their normal number of about 2,000. However, as you know from the crisis that we're in regarding COVID-19, a number of our partner locations have determined that they will not provide services for youth this summer or opportunities. And so our team has worked very hard to design both a hybrid model, which includes some in-person work opportunities for our youth and some virtual. And so we look forward to providing additional information for you all. I'll just stop my phone from ringing in the very near future about the summer programming for our youth. I will stop at this time and answer any questions that you have as board members.
Dr. Krum, thank you for that very thorough report. Are there any questions? Is there anyone who wants to ask a question? Seeing none, we'll go on to the, we've just had the Head Start updates, correct? Right. Roman number 03, financial report.
Yes, I have reviewed and signed, and Robert will provide the information and go over the report with the board.
Thank you. Robert?
Okay, good afternoon, commissioners. Good to see you back. The first thing I want to look at is, you'll recall last month, the March CACFP report was not available because that was when we had the big upheaval. So that's when COVID-19 struck in the middle, where we had kids in the Head Start centers for half the month, and then half the month they were not. And so this report has been updated. And so I wanted to add that to this, to the March financial report. And you will see that at the bottom of the claim, we have breakfast and lunches for the 21 days that we did actually have. And we did have some kids in Head Start and early Head Start at the beginning of the month of March. And then at the bottom, you'll see where we have listed breakfasts and lunches for COVID-19. And that's where we've went to the sites and off sites where we're serving meals to the community. And if there are kids that go to other metro schools or anyone that's below 18 that we can count that we're serving meals to, then we can get reimbursed for that. So we've also included that in here. And so that totaled $47,000.77 based on our records of the meals we serve. And on the next page down, you will see where my accounting office staff has drawn that exact amount of number of dollars down. So that concludes the March financial report. I just wanted to add that back because we didn't have that last month. Going on to the April financial report, if you will see that, this is what, if you'll see in the far right column, the ending fund balances need to be all positive or zero balance, and we are for all of those. And you'll see in the bottom left that we have our matching dollars. And I wanted to point out that in particular, because if you'll recall, I asked the board to, we put in a waiver request of $600,000 for our non-federal share match. And as you can see, we're under that $600,000. We only have to match $586,000 more through June 30th. So once that waiver request is approved, then we will have totally matched our 80-20% match to the Head Start program. And if you'll turn to the next page, This is our in-kind report, and it matches. So far, we've had over $3,034,000 in in-kind dollars, and that's again, that's Metro appropriations, some of our Head Start centers, depreciation expenses, and a small amount for volunteer hours that we include in our in-kind documentation. Okay. If you would go to the following page, you will see our credit cards. The first one is Ricky's McQueen's credit card for our organization that deals with travel. And you will see a lot of refunds on this particular one. And what that is we had booked some travel prior to the COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is where they're refunding us some of that money that was booked because we were not allowed to travel anymore at that time. So you will see refunds that came across just like you would on your personal credit cards. Okay, the next one is Sharon Suggs, and she had one for the month of April for Kroger, and it was $65.10. If you'll turn to the next page, Dr. Kroom had no expenditures for the month of April on her credit card for the organization, Max credit card. And if you turn to the last page, my credit card for the organization, Max business credit card, I had no charges also in the month of April. And we will have the CACFP report, because as you can imagine, we're pulling numbers that we've got several off-sites that we are serving meals to the community, and we have to distinguish between which ones are for children and adults, so that when we submit these claims, we only can get reimbursed for those for the children. And at this time, I'll take any questions that you might have over the March CACFP report and the whole April financial report for the Metropolitan Action Commission.
Thank you, Robert. Wait, first, I need a motion and a second, then we can have questions. I need a motion to approve the Finance Committee report, please.
So moved, Tim Robertson.
Thank you, Tim. And the second?
Kathy?
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Are there any questions or concerns about this report? State your name if you want to be recognized. All right, hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Thank you. The motion is carried. We'll go on now to Roman numeral 4, items requiring board action. The single audit completion, and you received that as attachment 2 in your packet. Dr. Kroom, would you talk to us about that?
Commissioners, as you are aware, as a part of your responsibilities as a commissioner, the Community Services Block Grant Act requires you to be informed and to have a copy of or access to the single audit. The reason for that is because when our organization is audited as a part of Metropolitan Government single audit, it would indicate to you whether or not there were findings in any of the grant programs that we administer. There were no findings in the grant programs and the single audit. You will be able to see that in the section that specifically refers to federal grants. So this is a part of the requirement under the CSB Community Services Block Grant Act that this information is made available to you.
True. We now need a motion to approve the single audit report.
This is Benita. I move that we accept the report.
Thank you. And a second, please.
This is Talisha, second.
Thank you. All right. Any questions or concerns about this report? Any questions? State your name, please. All right. Hearing no questions, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Anyone who disapproves, say no. Any abstentions? The motion is carried. Letter B, grants, contracts, and memorandums of understanding.
Thank you, Dr. Steele. There are a number of items for board approval. If it is okay with you, Dr. Steele, I will go through all of them at one time for full approval unless you would like to take them individually.
No, please proceed.
Okay. So item 1, which is the Community Services Block Grant CARES one-time supplemental funding. I mentioned in my report that this is notification to us that in addition to our normal Community Services Block Grant funding, we are receiving approximately $1.8 million or 1.870794.01 to be effective starting June 15th of 2020, ending December 29th of 2022. We're asking the board's approval for our receipt of these CSB or Community Services Block Grant CARES funds. In addition to that, as a part of the NCAC possible transfer, or not the transfer of NCAC, but of certain of their programs into Metro Action Commission, the VOCA, which is the Office of Criminal Justice Programs Victim of Crime Act grant serving youth and young adults with trauma, is being transferred into Metropolitan Action Commission. The grant amount is $500,000. That amount also includes a $125,000 match. And so we're also asking the board approval for our receipt of those dollars. The Summer Food Services Program, the submission of our grant, we're asking the board to approve the submission of the Summer Food Service Program grant. That was the grant that I mentioned to you earlier, that we would serve fewer locations than we have in previous years because of the numbers of locations that are closed due to COVID-19. Item number 4 under grants, contracts, and MOUs for the board is International Wholesale Company. It's an agreement for us to use 2 refrigerated trailers. This is not a charge to our agency, but we use these refrigerated trailers to hold the food that we use in preparation for the summer food or meals program. Commissioner Steele and board members, we're asking your approval of these items.
All right, thank you. I'd like a motion to approve items 1, 2, 3, and 4 under grants, contracts, and MOUs. I need a motion and a second.
Karen, motion to approve.
Thank you, Karen. Second.
Low, second.
Thank you. All right. Are there any questions or concerns about receiving all this wonderful money? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 Anyone who disapproves, say no. Motion carried. Thank you very much. All right. We're now going to go down to job descriptions, letter C. Dr. Kroon.
Thank you. You received 2 job descriptions. This is, as I stated, in preparation for our the reorganizing of our units based on both additional funding as well as the movement of certain programs or additional programs into the Metropolitan Action Commission. We're asking that the board approve the job description for Director of Early Education and Youth, which combines our early education programs with the new youth unit that's coming in. And we're also asking for approval of the Assistant Director of Early Education position, which was previously sent to the board. As I mentioned during my report, with the additional funds that we're receiving, in addition to the additional programming, there are existing job descriptions that have already been approved by the board that we're asking to increase the numbers of individuals under those job descriptions. That means adding an additional data specialist as well as adding 2 additional parent involvement coordinator positions. Those are my requests at this time.
A motion and a second to approve these 2 job descriptions. Motion, please.
I'll make a motion. Go ahead.
This is Benita. I so move approval of the 2 job descriptions.
All right, thank you. And a second, please.
This is Kathy making a second.
Thank you. All right. Are there any questions or concerns about these 2 job descriptions or how they'll be used, or any questions or concerns at all? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone who disapproves say no. Any abstentions? The motion's carried. Thank you very much. We look forward to receiving these people in these 2 positions. All right. Roman numeral 5, program report.
Dr. Steele,
Yes.
just a point of correction, please, or
Yes.
addition. In addition to the 2 job descriptions, I also asked the board approval for the additional positions to go with existing job descriptions. It was not included in the motion. May I ask for an additional motion that includes that request as well?
Certainly. State that concern again.
So in addition to the 2 job descriptions, we ask for approval. We have existing job descriptions for a data specialist. We're asking to add an additional data specialist as a part of the additional funding that we'll be receiving, as well as the additional funding that we'll be receiving. We also ask for the addition of 2 parent involvement coordinator positions to be added, also tied to additional funding that's coming into the organization.
So my understanding is you're asking for us to approve the addition of different positions, several positions. Is that correct?
That's correct. For existing job descriptions that are already approved but only have 1 individual, we're asking to increase the data specialist by 1 more individual and the parent involvement by 2 additional individuals.
This is Benita. I so move that we honor the request of Dr. Kroom to approve the additional positions that have already been approved.
All right. All right. And a second, please.
This is Kathy. I second.
All right. Thank you for this. Then thank you for the clarification, Dr. Kroom. All right. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor of the motion say aye.
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 Anyone to disapprove say no. Any abstentions? Motion carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Kroom, for the clarification.
Thank you, Dr. Steele.
All right. Now we're going to go back to program reports, public information. Lisa?
Thank you, Dr. Steele. I don't have anything to add.
All right. Thank you. And thank you for the work you're doing in the community.
Thank you.
Letter B, community program.
Nothing to add at this particular time.
All right. Thank you. Head Start, Early Head Start, attachment 5 in your packet.
There's no additional information on the than the report as submitted.
All right, thank you. All right. Policy Council. I don't think he's here. All right, letter E, Administrative Services, Operations, and so on. I think that's been included in the Dr. Kroom's report. Human Resources.
Nothing to add at this time.
Thank you. Roman numeral 6, other business. Is there any other business that we need to take care of?
This is Joseph Mitchell. I had my mic on mute. There are no additions to the Policy Council.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate that. All right. Is there any further business that we need to take care of today? All right. Seeing none, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for your patience and your understanding.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information about this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.